Let's dive into Claude Projects. Today, we're going to fix the most annoying thing about AI, and that's explaining yourself from scratch over and over. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Kim, and people call me the AI doctor. I help entrepreneurs and small business owners put AI to work without the hype and without needing to be technical. If you find this video series useful, subscribe so you can catch the rest of the challenge and share it with another business owner who needs it. So if you're just finding the challenge now, you can watch day 1 and day 2 right here. Today builds on both, so they're both worth the few minutes. So here's the problem we're going to solve today. Yesterday, we learned the CARE method, and that's the way to write a strong prompt. And that's context, audience, rules, and role, and example. It works, but you may have noticed something. You have to type all of that every single time you open a new conversation. Who you are, who you serve, how you sound, every single time. By the time you get to the actual request, you've spent 2 minutes rebuilding the background you already explained yesterday and the day before that. Well, today that stops. This feature is called Projects, and it lets you set context one time so Claude remembers it in every conversation from then on. Now, projects used to be a paid-only feature, but it's not anymore. You can create projects on the free plan, so you can create everything in today's lesson without paying for it. There's a cap on how many you get for free, and the paid plans, Pro and above, give you more room, more projects, more usage, and a more capable model. So today's not about whether you can get in the door. Everyone can. It's about setting up the first one well. So what is a project? A project is a dedicated workspace inside of Claude built around one stream of work. It can be a client, it can be one of your programs, it can be your content, or even your entire business if you want. So think of it like a folder that's really smart. A regular Claude chat starts from a blank chat window. A project starts from everything that you've already told it. So each project has two parts, and this is the whole feature, so stay with me. The first part is instructions. These are the rules that Claude follows in every conversation inside that project. Your role for it to play, your tone, your guardrails, words that you don't want to use. Remember the rules and role and context from yesterday's CARE method? You write them one time over here, and they load automatically every chat. You never have to type them again. The second part is project knowledge. This is a library of reference material you upload once. Your brand voice guide, your past work, your service descriptions, your standard operating procedures. Claude can draw on all of it across every conversation in the project so it answers with your actual material instead of generic AI guesses. Instructions tell Claude how to behave. Knowledge gives it what to know. Together, they turn Claude from a clever AI into something that really understands your business. So let's build one out live. I'm going to use the same coaching business from yesterday, which is momentum, and you'll see the difference from where we started. So what we'll do first is open the projects area, and you can find it over here on the left-hand side under projects. Click New Project. And let's give it a name. I'm going to name this Momentum Marketing. So I've given it a name and I've told it what I'm trying to achieve. And now we will click on Create Project. So as you can see, we have Momentum Marketing here at the top. We have memory, instructions, and files. The first thing that we're going to do is load in the instructions. Click the plus sign and load up your instructions here. So, about this business, I run Momentum, a 6-week coaching program for service business owners who are fully booked but barely profitable. It teaches them to raise their prices, tighten how they deliver, and build real time off back into their week. It's $1,200, runs live on Zoom in small cohorts with weekly calls and done-for-you templates. And if you scroll down, you will notice that this is the context, the audience, and the rules and role from yesterday's CARE method written one at a time. When you're done, click on Save Your Instructions. And now we have the instructions for the project. Let's come down here to files. And there are some files that I want it to reference every time that I create something in Momentum. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to load up from my device 2 files. And here are the 2 files that I'm loading up. I'm loading up copy samples, and I'm also loading my brand voice guide. Now watch, we're going to start a new conversation, and I'm going to type in a lazy one-line request, the exact kind that gave us garbage on day 2. I'm not giving it any context, I'm not giving it any rules, nothing, and watch what happens when I do. So I'm not telling it who the audience is, I'm not giving it my voice, I didn't even paste an example, and yet it's going to give me the answers that I'm looking for. So here are the results. On brand, right voice, right audience, no hype words, payoff tied to time. The same lazy prompt that failed yesterday just worked because the project already knows everything from the care method. I set it up one time, and now every conversation starts from there. So let me open a new chat in the same project, and I'll give it a brand new command. Draft a warm welcome email for someone who just joined Momentum. It's going to take into account all of the information I've already given it, the instructions and the 2 files that I uploaded, and it's going to write an email that's on brand for Momentum. So as you can see, hey, you're officially in Momentum and I'm glad you're here. I know what this kind of decision usually feels like. You move money toward a thing and then immediately wonder if you just brought one more item for the pile of stuff you don't have time for. So I'm not going to read you the entire thing, but notice that it took on the brand, it took on my voice, and it also referenced the information that was already uploaded into the project. So that first example was about your content. But let me show you how I use projects in my business, and that's in my one-on-one VIP coaching. Every VIP client gets their own project, and I'll show you Renee Acosta. She runs Marigold and Vine, and that's a wedding floral studio. She came through the Momentum cohort and she added VIP, so I built a project out for her when she came on board. And now it's where her whole engagement lives. Watch how I set this up because the structure is the entire point. So here we are back in projects. And as you can see, here we have VIP coaching client Renee Acosta. Here we are inside of Renee's project. If we take a look at the instructions, I put the role I want Claude to play and my rules for every session. A sharp coaching partner who already knows Renee places her against my coaching framework and holds her up to the plan. That's 1 file, the coaching project instructions, and I only have to paste it once. In the files section, I have 5 files. I have my coaching framework, I have her session notes, I have her client profile, I have the assessment that she took previously, and I have an assignment tracker. Now, this project knows everything about Renee and my interaction with her. So every time I have a session with Renee, I upload more and more notes. That's how it continues to learn more and more about her. So here's the thing. I have a coaching session with Renee in about an hour. So what do I do to prep for my coaching session with her? I simply give it a prompt and what I want Claude to do. I have a coaching session with Renee in an hour. Based on her last 3 session notes and her most recent assignment results, tell me where she's actually stuck, what we should focus on today, and give me 3 coaching questions tailored to where she is right now. So it's going to access my instructions and all of the files and information that it knows about Renee, and it's going to give me a construct, something to work with or work from when I get to Renee's coaching session later on this afternoon. Notice I'm not flipping through a notebook. I'm not trying to remember what we covered last month. It was her whole file, and it's reading it the same way a great assistant would when they are trying to help you prep for a client call. So here are Renee's results, and look at what it caught. Renee is stuck in the price reset, which is the second phase. She can hold her new number, she proved it last week, and she still folds the moment a client feels personal or comes in on a referral. The delegation, which is phase 3, has not started at all. So today will be all about the discounting and the grip on doing every consult herself. The price sheet is already handled. The top three questions built exactly for where she's stuck. So I walk into this call prepared, and I didn't spend my morning digging through folders or reading through documents to get here. And it goes further than prep. I can ask it to design her next assignment around the discounting she keeps excusing. I can find the pattern across the last month that she cannot see yet. Each client project becomes a coaching memory that does not fade between sessions, so every client gets the version of me that remembers everything. So there's one rule that I want you to remember about projects that trips people up. So let me save you a great big headache. The chats inside of the project do not talk to each other. The project instructions and the project knowledge are shared across all of them, but the individual conversations themselves are separate. So if you work on something in one chat and you want it available everywhere else going forward, you need to add it to the project knowledge. So basically add it to the files. Otherwise, it's going to stay in one conversation. So this is simple. Instructions and knowledge are the shared brain. Individual chats are where the work happens. And one just quick word on judgment and security, and it's the same as day one. Be thoughtful and very careful about what you upload. For everyday business material, brand guides, service descriptions, marketing copy, projects is excellent. But for sensitive or regulated client data, check that you are on the right plan before it goes into the knowledge base. We want to make sure that we match the tool to the work. So that's projects, that's Claude Projects, and this is the end of day 3. The care method that I taught you yesterday and how to give Claude context. Projects is where that context lives permanently, so you give it to it once and you never have to repeat yourself again. Instructions set the rules and the role, and then knowledge holds your reference material. Every chat inside the project starts from there, and you can build your first one on the free plan today. So, coming up tomorrow, we're going to go one level deeper. Day 4 is about Claude skills, and this is where it gets really, really powerful. A project holds your context. A skill teaches that old dog Claude a new trick and your exact way of doing a specific job, step by step, so it performs a task the way you would every single time. So, if projects is your workspace, skills is going to be your trained specialist, and that's tomorrow. So here's your homework assignment, and you can do it all on the free plan. Create one project for the work you do most. Give it a clear name, write a short set of instructions using your care context from yesterday, and upload one document that you reference often. Then start a chat and ask for something without explaining yourself first. Notice how much it already knows. Come into our Facebook group or comment below, and I want to know what you built your first project for. So if this helped, again, please subscribe so the rest of the challenge comes straight to you, and share this with another entrepreneur who's tired of explaining themselves over and over and over to AI. Ciao for now.